On Monday I did binge watch an anime. I binge watched My Unique Skill Makes Me OP at level 1. Now, you guys know how I am with isekai. It's always hit or miss. But in recent times, especially this year, I'd say, this year and last year, I'd say not all the isekai have been so bad. They've been getting a few creative ideas and unique ideas here and there, actually. And you guys know I like to make fun of isekai a little bit, that they're all like the stereotypical power fantasy. But I'll tell you this year has been a really weird year. With all of the anime I've expected to like Classroom for Heroes, I ended up not liking. And all the anime that I had no expectations for ended up being really good, or surprisingly good, and that was the case with My Unique Skill Makes Me OP, even at level 1. So the main character is like a salaryman, excuse me, who used to work in a black company basically, and he always had to, and he died from overworking essentially. And he's reborn in this new world as basically an item drop. He wakes up, a girl in a dungeon kills a monster, a slime, and he is the dropped item basically. And his unique skill, all his stats are like level F tier, right? Except for one thing. His item drop rates are all S tier, so whenever he kills a monster, it's guaranteed to drop like the best loot. And so he teams up with this girl. This girl has been living in a dungeon homeless basically, and he saves up the money by killing monsters, getting their drops and selling them, and ends up buying them a house, and they end up living together. And it's interesting because the main character is not like your typical main character. He's not like a swordsman, first of all. His primary weapon is actually guns, believe it or not. Guns and his own fists. And he ends up getting like a gun from a really powerful monster as a drop. And I thought it was really cool. For once, it felt really refreshing to see a main character for once that like wasn't using like a super OP main character with like a sword. Like, he barely uses any magic, and majority of his powers and things are to do with his drops. The whole show is just about him and his really good like drop rates. And he goes into different dungeons and he collects and he has different methods as well. He figures out that if a dropped item is left alone for too long outside of a dungeon, it will spawn into a monster. So he uses that to let them turn into monsters and then get new drops from that. And he has a lot of unique, I do wonder if there's something else at play, because like the characters in the show have never ever seen a gun basically. And the main character has different things like bullets and whatnot that he has like things, feats and weapons and things that are not supposed to exist in this world. And so it makes me wonder if there's something more at play that makes the main character get all these special unique things. But it's a really lovely, it leans towards the more sort of, you know, having fun in the next life. More than it doesn't have any crazy villains or evil organizations or anything. I'd say my favorite my favorite part is definitely the main character's character. Since he was in his previous life, he was exploited at his company, right? So in this life, he strives to help people out instead. And he doesn't like it when he sees people overworking themselves. Like, there's this one character that's overworking themselves, and he stops her basically. He stops her and orders her to take a rest and starts doing like helping her with her work. And I really like that aspect about the main character. He's really kind and compassionate towards others. because he knows how hard he had it, and he's truly appreciative as well when people you know, praise him for his hard work or thank him and stuff, because at his old company he was exploited and treated terribly, so he's genuinely grateful that, you know, he's able to help people in this new world and be of use to people, and I thought that was really cool. But yeah, I definitely recommend My Unique Skill Makes Me OP at level 1. It's a very unique show, and it's funny because the title has unique in it, and it doesn't really have much BS, other than I guess the main character does get more powerful as he sort of, because he uses his drop skill to get skill seeds which increase his stats, so I guess he does get a little bit overpowered, but even so, still, I think it's a very interesting take on an isekai, and I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. At the beginning, I really had no hopes for it when watching the first 2 episodes, but after that, it genuinely starts to get a bit interesting. And you know I love dungeon crawlers, right? So the show had a lot of dungeon crawling aspects, and I really enjoyed that, because I love shows like Danmachi and whatnot, and I love the beginning of SAO because I love dungeon crawlers a lot. Why do you think we're playing this game now that's made by the same people that made Wise, which has a lot of dungeon crawling in as well? But yeah, go watch My Unique Skill Makes Me OP at level 1.